The college hoops we go here on First Take. Cameron Boozer stole the show Monday night as the Duke freshman dominated the NC State Wolfpack, finishing with 26 points, 9 rebounds, while drawing 9 fouls in the Blue Devils' 93-64 win. In the win last night, Boozer became the first D1 freshman over the last 30 seasons to accumulate 650 points, 300 rebounds, and 100 assists before the conference tournament. Crazy. According to our own Jeremy Wu, Cameron Boozer is the third best prospect in this year's NBA draft. Kareem Lopez, who is currently playing professionally in New Zealand, is the only player in the top 10 that is not currently a college freshman. Seth Greenberg back here with us on First Take. Coach, which freshman do you think is the best NBA prospect right now?
Coach, this is the best freshman class in the history of college basketball. Not even close. Like, you could say it's Acuff. He reminds me of Dame Lillard. You could say it's DeBonsa. He reminds me of Tracy McGrady. You could say it's Caleb Wilson. He reminds me of Kevin Garnett. But there's one guy, and I know you guys, Boozer, obviously we know all about him in terms of Apollo Banchero. But there's one guy whose upside is different. He's 6'6". He's got a 6'10" wingspan. Sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't play. But when he plays, every time he shoots it, you think it's going in. He reminds me of Donovan Mitchell. Now stop before you guys jump in. Don't go anywhere yet. You don't even think about comparing him to Ben Simmons, because Ben Simmons couldn't make a shot. Ben Simmons didn't have a transferable skill. This dude has a transferable skill. The dude is Donovan Mitchell. He's a shot maker, elite athlete with the measurables to say if he passes the interview and if his workouts go well, it's Peterson. You know it's Peterson.
You can't be sitting up there. This ain't Young and the Restless. I mean, you got to get to your point. Yeah, Peterson. Let me ask you this, Coach. Let me ask you this, Coach. Listen. Peterson, let me say this. Peterson is special. The brother's special. Ain't no doubt about that. But, Coach, no concerns whatsoever on that lack of availability, Coach? Coach, let me ask you this question.
I do.
How many guys have you seen? And I'll say this to Peterson, I'm not rooting against the kid. The kid is special. We want to see his mercurial talents on the basketball court. He is something special. But, Coach, have you seen in your career a guy, a freshman in college, that has missed 11 games primarily due to the flu and cramps? What are we missing? What are we missing, Coach?
Here's what you're missing. I hate to talk about like Tatum, when you're going to bring him back, or like Giannis and when he comes back with injuries. Look, we don't know his medical history. He's going to have a full physical and a medical history. Now, that medical history says, you know what? The guy took plays off. He took games off. He wasn't tough enough to play through inconveniences as opposed to injuries. Then you know what? That'll impact his draft choice. And, I'm a huge Acuff fan because he's physical. He plays hard. He plays every single night. He's played through a bad ankle. But this guy's just different. Shot makers. What is this league that they're playing in? It's a shot makers league. And this guy makes tough guarded shots like you see in the NBA playoffs in Game 7.
Not about his game, Coach.
That's why I think that.
It's not about his game. Go ahead, Perk. Go ahead, Perk.
Bring it on, Perk. Let's go, Perk.
Look, no. Listen, I believe this. I agree with you, Coach. It is the best freshman class ever. Darian Peterson reminds me a lot of Milwaukee Ray Allen, okay? Let me say that. But I'm with Stephen A. He got some areas he needs to clean up outside the lines. But can I ask y'all a question? Can we stop with the measurables and all this stuff? Can we get back to valuing the quarterback position of the NBA, which is the point guard position? Can we look at a young man like Darius Acuff, who's on the cuff of winning SEC Player of the Year as a young freshman, arguably the best guard that John Calipari has ever had? Can we start valuing that? Because when we look at the history of the NBA, just go on the history of point guards being drafted number 1, just ones that come to mind. A la John Wall, successful career. A la Derrick Rose, Chicago Bulls, successful career. So when we start to think about the point guard position, we need to get back to valuing the quarterback position. There's so many teams out there that needs a true point guard. This guy is one of those dynamic scorers. Stephon Marbury could make guys around him better. So if you're asking me, I would actually consider drafting Darius Acuff #1.
Well, listen, I think it warrants consideration. Coach, I'll come to you with this, but I want to interject, Coach, because I want to throw this out there before you answered both of us. I certainly consider that a big perk because Acuff is special. The brother nice. He got a nice game. There's no doubt about it. But there's a few guards. Flemings in Houston is no joke. I'm looking at these cats, Berries and Bradley at Arizona. I can't ignore them. You obviously see that kind of stuff. I get it, right? But here's my whole deal. Coach, Perk, you like Jason Tatum, don't you? I mean, remember when Lonzo Ball and De'Aaron Fox was coming available in the draft and Markelle Fultz was available in the draft? But we all liked Jason Tatum, didn't we? Why? Because the brother was 6'9" with a handle with skills coming out of Duke. Well, what about Mr. A.J. DeBonza out of BYU? What about that brother who's leading the nation, averaging nearly 25 on 53% shooting from the field? All right, 36% shoot from three-point range. Got a handle, can get to the hole, got athleticism, had a little rough night the other night against West Virginia. I get all of that. They're only 8-8 in their conference. You know, since starting out 16-1, they've been struggling. I get it. But this brother right here, A.J. DeBonza, what about him, Coach? You don't teach his height. You don't teach his athleticism. And oh, by the way, just for the record, for a guy like Darren Peterson and others, A.J. DeBonza, it's rumored that his NIL money is at about $7 million. Shows up every game, balling out. What about him? That's who I'm looking at as the #1 overall pick. What about him?
I can't argue. Look, I can't argue with it if it's DeBonza. 6'9", reminds me of Tracy McGrady. A big physical body, can get in the lane, middle game, shoot it real well. A terrific passer, especially out of double teams and in back downs. I can't disagree with that. And you know what, Perk? I absolutely love Darius Acuff. I love his I love that he loves to play. I mean, the guy's in a boot all week, and he turns around, he turns into Superman. Got taken out of the game the other night when they were struggling, came back in and goes 6 or 7 or 5 for 6 and made big-time plays. Look, I'm huge on Acuff. His ability, and you talk about the great guard scouts. You talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We're talking about Tyrese Maxey. He's in that conversation. But your league, size and measurables do have an impact. I agree with a play starter and a playmaker and his feel for the game and Acuff. Look, I think if he was picked overall #1, if Keaton Wagler was in the top 5, the kid from Illinois is an absolute flamethrower. I wouldn't have a problem with that. There's so many good impact freshmen in this class, and we never talk about Boozer. And yet Boozer's the most efficient, most NBA-ready, mentally, physically, emotionally. Is there a player that's coming out in the draft that's more mentally, physically, emotionally ready to play than Boozer?
Wait a minute. You're not getting away with that, Coach. I mean, Devin, I rely on you. I listen to you. You understand? You're not getting away with that, Coach. What is it that Boozer has that DeBonza doesn't have? Boozer can't handle the ball like that in the open court. Boozer can't create off the dribble the way DeBonza can. And DeBonza is 6'8" and showing you he needs to grow a little bit more in his girth. He's going to get bigger, probably going to get taller. And he's leading the nation playing at BYU. He ain't at Duke. You understand what parts surrounding him like that? He's at BYU, averaging 24.9 a game on 53% shooting, with the world knowing who he is and they coming for him. He's the #1 option. You game planning against him, and he's still giving it to you. At 6'9", as a freshman, I'm sorry. What is it that I love Boozer? But what is it about Boozer that you ain't getting from DeBonza, who, by the way, has been a consummate professional and very reliable and very trustworthy? What are you not getting?
Go ahead, Perk.
But this is the beauty. This is the beauty, S.A. First of all, you sweating, so I know you're excited. But I still love that chair. Okay, you sweating, and I know you're excited. But let me say this. Let me say this to you. Yeah. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of this freshman class. You can't go wrong. And you know my saying: whoever gets the #1 pick, it's your preference. Some people like to drink Ciroc. Some people like to drink Hennessy. Some people like to drink tequila. but they all get you drunk. Is what's your preference? The number
But
one,
I
the team that
disagree.
got the number one
I disagree.
pick, they made, What you mean?
I
Why?
only disagree in this point. I get your point about it being about preference. But Perk, with that number one overall pick, you're looking for the best thing to a sure bet. And to me, when you take, it's not about taking in the measurables. It's like, in today's NBA game, 6'9", with a 7-foot wingspan, with ball handling and perimeter skills and athleticism, man, I gotta take that over a 6'2" guard. I gotta take that over a 6'2" guard.
But they say all I'm telling you is this, right? To me in this draft, I don't believe it's a generational talent. I feel like we throw that word out too much. It's no slight to anybody in this draft, but it's not a LeBron James in this draft. It's not a Victor Wembanyama in this draft. Do I believe that all these guys could be all NBA players knocking at the door at MVP caliber players? Yes, this draft is loaded with those type of guys. I get that point. But what I'm saying is that can we get back to valuing the quarterback position of the NBA and look at point guards like Flemings and Darius Acuff and just consider the way that that high-level skilled players were being able to facilitate and make guys around them better, we could consider them at number one.
So obviously this is a very...
Because the NBA looks at all ball guards. In the NBA, everyone's a ball guard. It's a scoring point guard. That's the way the league is built. I agree with you on Debatza, but I'm telling you one thing. If you really want to talk upside in this thing, Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson is a freak. I mean, he's a freak at 6'9". His athleticism, two-way, running the floor, protects the rim, finishes at the basket. Look, we could debate this forever.
Okay.
One thing for sure is, if you want to be you're in the lottery, you're going to end up with a dude that can play.
So are you saying you would take Caleb Wilson ahead of DeBonza?
No, I'm not saying that. But if he was
taken, you damn right you ain't saying that.
That guy's going to have a big-time career. No. I would take if he passes all the tests. Yeah, just because
you would take Darren Peterson number one overall.
Yeah,
you would take Darren Peterson number one overall with his upside.
Stroking. Yes,
I'm not taking a play. I'm not with the number Shay with the number one overall pick. The number one quality I'm looking for from you, outside of your obvious ability, is your availability. I am not picking a dude number one overall that's missing college basketball games because of flu and cramps. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. If you're doing it now, what you going to do on the NBA level? Darren Peterson's a stud. Talent-wise, I got no issue with him as the number one prospect. But I got to be able to trust your availability. You got to be, listen, we complaining about load management and tanking and all of this stuff in the NBA. What's he going to do? He's going to improve that? Nah. I got to see him on the court.
What if in the Big 12
I got to see him on the court.
You might regret it.
What about in the Big 12
I'm not going to regret it if I don't see him.
Madness, he plays in these games, repetitive, back to back to back, and shows he's available.
Shay,
I'm
telling you, Shay,
common sense right there from Shay. Thank you.
Call me when he does. Until he does, I'm not doing that. No, I got to see it.
Stephen A, let me say this. We just had a segment, Shay, Stephen A, coach, we just had a segment about Zion and what he did to clean up outside of the court and his representation and Bill Duffy. The same applies for this young man in Darren Peterson, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Sure,
it's the best time of year here. March Madness on the cusp. Conference tournaments coming up. Coach, we appreciate your time. Thank you.